स्टार्ट करें। Yes, Hiren, please. Your voice is not coming. Hiren, your voice is not coming.
Hiren, your voice is not coming.
Welcome, friends, on this one more seminar of Borivali Study Circle on sustainability. Before we start the session, and I would request Hiren to chair the session. Everyone, please raise for the ICI motto.
येष सुप्तेषु जागृति येष सुप्तेषु जागृति कामं 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 कामुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शितः सर्वे तदूनात्यकश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Good evening, members. Today's topic is on sustainability reporting. We have with us the very senior CA, Chartered Accountant Kishor Parikh, who is take us through the sustainability reporting, that is the ESG reporting, that is disclosure and communication of environmental, social, and governance goals. I would now request my colleague CA Ravi Soni to briefly introduce today's learned speaker, Kishor Parikh.
Thank you, Hiren bhai. It is my great pleasure to introduce today's speaker, CA Kishor Parikh. CA Kishor Parikh is a fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountant with more than 3 decades of experience in audit and assurance. He holds the degree of the certificate of IFRS issued by Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, diploma in international financial reporting examination conducted by Association of Chartered Certified Accountant UK. He has teaching experience of more than 35 years in accounting profession, lecturer in Indian accounting standard and IFRS to CA final student, and speaker at various study circle seminar conducted by ICI, WRC, BCA. He is advisor for listed companies in best practice standard and quality assurance in audit. He is on a panel of ICI for IFRS certificate course and delivering lecture across India and Gulf countries. He has served as a member of IND-AS Implementation Transition Group of Institute Chartered Accountant of India. With this brief introduction, now I will present the e-memento that we present to the learned speaker.
Sir, please accept the same with a loud round of applause.
Now I request sir to start the session.
Share screen. Over to you.
Are you able to see that shared file, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you able to listen me, sir?
Yes.
See, thank you very much for introduction. I'm very much thankful to the Borivali Central Study Circle for giving me an opportunity to share my knowledge on the new subject, that is environmental social governance. Friends, a subject is very new to everybody, even including myself. But at the same time, it is not that tough also. See, there is some difference in this subject. Whatever we have studied, debit, credit, assets, liabilities, financial records, numbers, such things are not there in this type of report. It is quite non-financial report that is called ESG reporting. At the same time, as far as the applicability of reporting is concerned, sooner or later, it will be applicable to all the listed and even unlisted entities also. It will be also applicable to unlisted entities. The reason is that because it is subject of the environment and social, which is applicable to everybody and all the stakeholders are covered into this. So this subject is quite different than the financial subject. Now we will go the one by one, that what is the complication, what are the basic principles, how it has come, what are they at the global level, what is happening, what is the global level framework, etc. Now I will show the certain pictures which are connected to the environment, social and governance. It's not working, let me try. See, this is related to the poverty, which is at the global level. Most of the countries are suffering by this poverty. It's a part of this social governance. Second, I have taken some pictures of hunger. It is also a social problem as on today, which is to be taken care by all the entities and our government also. Then health and nutrition. This is also a problem at the global level, as well as that most of the countries are suffering, which is upcoming countries, and that is also a part of the social governance. We are quite aware of the gender equality, which is happening everywhere, even in our country also, how it is to be balanced, and all the women should be respected. All child labor should be also taken into consideration, and that is also covered into the social governance. Then clean water. That is the most burning problem as on today, a clean water. Water shortage, how the water to be managed, that is also to be taken with care into the environment. Then clean energy, how it should produce the less CO2, and it should be cheaper energy available to the society as a whole. Then climate changes, then life under the water, life on land, then justice and peace. See, these are the just pictures I have produced only to understand what is problem which we are facing on the social level, environment level, and governance level. See, we are the guest on the planet and not the owner of the planet. See, now today's agenda, what are the global challenges and the top risks which are prevailing at a global level? Second, what is called as environment, social and governance introduction. Third, ESG recent global updates. Fourth, sustainability, the global scenario, the global ESG framework, environment and social framework. What was the development in India? Then comparisons and the need for independent assurance. That is very important to us. Independent assurance and social stock exchange. It is a new concept which is coming forward for the social stock exchange. Just like NSE, BSE, like that way, it will be one more exchange that is called as SSE. Now, global challenges and the top risk as on today. We are facing by the extreme weather as on today, like a cold fronts, fire, floods, heat waves, windstorm, etc. See, if you look at very practically, just I share my own experience of 15 days back. I had been to Chikli, that's near to the Billy Moor. I had been to a farm that was about 45 acres farm of my student. I was invited over there. I stayed for the night. And about there were 1,200 mango trees were there in the farm. But when I entered into the farm, I could not see any mangoes on the farm. Then I asked to my student, okay, why there are no mangoes, why there is no crop? He said to me that this time the crop is total burnt because of the heat wave. Now see, we imagine that heat wave crop is burnt, we are not much affected to that extent. But when I asked him that what is your financial loss, then he explained me that my financial loss in this season of only this farm, from mango is around 22 lakhs, 50 to 22 lakhs. Now you can imagine the impact of the heat wave which has prevailed into the country as on today. The whole crop is fell into the Gujarat. So when you consider into the financial terms, it affects to the cost of living also. High prices of the mangoes are going into the market. So you can imagine how it affects. So these are heat waves and these are extreme weather. There is also a big risk to the global level. The human environment damages, accidents, industrial accidents, oil spills, radioactive contamination, wildlife, etc. See, there is also a big risk to the debt. Climate action failure, population, transmission, carbon neutral economy, etc. Infection disease. Since last 2 years, everybody has suffered by COVID-19. Now, COVID-19, that epidemic which has gone through the whole global, and all of us know how it has impacted to the economy, how many lives have gone, how many people have died because of this infectious disease. The livelihood crisis, population, unemployment, mass weapon destruction resulting in a loss of life, debt crisis, insolvency, liquidity crisis, natural resources crisis. These are all global crises because of that. Now, just I have gone through some losses because what is arising because of this risk. The deep water horizon oil drilling platform exploded, resulting into a large oil spill, which has refinery cost of $53.8 billion. You can imagine it. Volkswagen is exposed and having reached 11 million diesel vehicle to pass emission tests, resulting in a cost including euro 27.5 billion in penalties and fine. That is governance. California Candid Sadler Bridge and Sandalwood fire, October 2019, which has damage estimated of $1.3 billion. Facebook also, after Cambridge, harvested the personal data from 87 million users without their consent. See, these are the cases. Like there are a number of cases which are affected. Number of countries are affected. because of this climate change, because of this environmental and social governance. Now let us consider what is ESG introduction. See, there are 27 topics which are covered into ESG. Environmental, social and governance. In environmental, air pollution, water management, land and soil quality, waste generation and disposal, energy, material intensity, nuclear radiation, noise pollution. Now we are quite aware of the noise pollution in Mumbai. How much we are suffering because of pollution and also for air pollution. Adverse effect on climate change and deforestation. As far as social is concerned, health and well-being, hunger, poverty, just we have seen in the pictures, removal of social disparities, that is gender equality, labor condition. We know the labor condition, what is prevailing in this country, peace and security. Third world countries are more sufferer out of this all social governance and everything. Gender equality, corporate social responsibility, CSR, all of us are aware of it. Customer satisfaction, human rights. As far as governance is concerned, ESG political committee, grievances disposal, statutory compliance, which are many companies are not following, internal audit, anti-corruption policy of the company, and that should be followed by each company, whistleblower and bar competition. So these are the main 27 topics which are covered into the ESG. Now, what are the global updates? See, 26 COP, that is Conference of Participants were held, and there are certain decisions that they have taken. The latest development which has taken place now, the leaders from more than 100 countries with about 85% of the world forest promised to stop deforestation by 2030. Because of deforestation, generation of carbon dioxide that is not consumed, it affects on the weather, it affects on the quality of the air and everywhere. It affects on the human animal life also. This is seen vital as the trees absorb vast amounts of CO2. So by 2013, the 100 countries have promised that deforestation will not be there. Methane, a scheme to cut 30% of methane emissions by 2030 was agreed by more than 100 countries. Methane is currently responsible for a third of human generation warming. The big committees, China, committers, China, Russia, and India have not joined, but it's thought that they will join later on. So India has not agreed so far to cut off this position because of this position. Money, financial organizations controlling 130 billion clean energy technology. So all renewable energy, which is coming into that, solar energy and everything, and direct finance away from fossil fuel burning industries. The initiative is an attempt to involve private companies in meeting the net zero targets. Emissions in Glasgow was the 26th summit. 200 countries were asked for their plan to cut emissions by 2030. See, these are all the impact of environment and how it is to be tackled. That is taken decision by COP also. Now, the most important is sustainability. See, let us say very honestly, we have seen location today. If you go on Bakri or Ankleshwar side in Gujarat, it stinks because of the chemical plants. Now we can imagine, while going through, we are suffering because of the stinks for chemical plant. What about the people who are staying near about that? Owner of the plant, they are enjoying the life in other way around. They are staying in Mumbai or somewhere in nightclub flat and rent house. But the sufferers are the people who are deciding over there. What they contribute for them. See, sustainability is very important for human life. See, I heard our Prime Minister in Berlin also he has said that we should take from the earth only what we need and we should give for the others also. And he has very clearly mentioned this. Now, when you come to the sustainability, if you look at the definition of the sustainability, now this is already there in our Upanishad. See, sustainability is not a new concept for the Indian culture. It may be for the other Indian culture, the European culture. But if you look at our Upanishad, it is already defined what is called the sustainability. Now look at the definition of Galant definition 1987, what he has given. Sustainable development is a development that meets the need of the persons without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. That is what he has said. Now this is already said into our Isha Upanishad. Now read the Isha Upanishad very clearly. Everything in the universe belongs to the Supreme God. Therefore, take only what you need, that is set aside for you. Do not take everything else for you to know whom it belongs. See, what the brother had said that is already there in our Upanishad. That is called as sustainability. Then another Upanishad, Brahma has said, may all be happy, may all be without disease, may all have a well-being, may none have a misery of any sort. So this is also shared. So this sustainability concept, which has come now, it was already there in our Upanishad and in 1,500 to 6,000 years ago. Even more than that. Now this sustainability also said what is called reuse, recycle, etc. That whatever you are doing, that is, you reduce it, recycle the material, recycle the product, and reuse it also. Very nice example was given in the Berlin by Narendra Modi when I was listening to his lecture. He had said to the world that don't treat the sustainability to us, it is in our Upanishad and everywhere. That you recycle, reuse, and reduce. He has given a very good example also. See what happens in Indian family, particularly when you go to the village. The clothes of the elder sons are used by the next one. The clothes are carried by the mother into the cupboard, and when the second son grows up, that those clothes are used by them. That is nothing but a reuse. He has given so many, so small examples, but it has opened the eyes of the people who are listening. So sustainability is not considered as a new concept to us. It is nothing but it is already there. Now look at the Sustainable Development Line. 1951, International Union of the Nature Conservation published the first report. 1960, economic activities have a negative impact on the environment due to pollution. 62, book Silent Spring. 69, National Environment and Policy Act has come out. 1970, the International Institute of Environment and Development introduced the concept of sustainable development in 1970. UN Conference on the Human Environment and UNEP Club of Rome. Like that way, First World Water Conference was there in 1979. In 1983, Berlin Commission created, first time 83. In 87, he has published the report regarding the environment and ESG, total report. Then 88, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change was created. Then 1992, So many meetings have taken, the new places also taken place. 1995 second IPCC report published. 1997 Kyoto Protocol also agreed. 1999 the Treaty of Anderson Sustainable Development has come out. Now in 2000 Millennium Development Goal has come. There are 8 Millennium Development Goals, but it has come into the implementation on 2012. So they have decided to form the Millennium Development Goals at United Nations level. And after developing that, it has come into the force by 2012. And that will be applicable up to 2015. What were the goals which are mentioned? That is to be complied by all the countries who are the members. And by 2015, another goals were introduced, that is called SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. And there are 17 goals that we will see later on. So these 17 goals, they are to be met by 2030. So if you look at the sustainability, it has started development of 51 and now it has come to 22. So there are circles of sustainability. It takes care of mainly 3: people, planet, and profit. How people are bothered by way of politics, culture, etc. Planet, that is what we are suffering on the planet, what the price we are paying, that is climate change and everything, and profit, how it impact to the life of the people. So in economics, they have taken into consideration sustainability, production and resourcing, exchange and transfer, accounting and regulation, consumption of use, etc. Ecology, material and energy, water and air, flora and fauna, habitat and food, place and space, construction and settlement, emission and waste. Flora and fauna means forest life and animal life. Flora and fauna. The organization, governance, law and justice, that is called politics. Security, dialogue, reconciliation, ethics and accountability. Engagement and identity, recreation and creativity, etc. That is covered under the culture. So mainly there are 4 circles of sustainability, which is effective to the planet, people and profit. See, now question comes, why the sustainability reporting should be made? What are the benefits out of that? See, it's a human nature. If you don't get benefit, you will not do that. You always look at the first and what I will get out of it. Then I will follow and compliance with everything. So there are so many positive impacts of sustainable reporting, which is already there. First, improve brand image and provides business with a competitive advantage. See, this reporting, brand image, if the company is producing a good standard product, see, in sustainable reporting, you will be surprised to know it covers the total chain distribution. See, I have come to that 1 or 2 of my clients. They were exporting their product to the foreign country in a company. 100% what were they manufacturing, they were exporting to their company. Now the company has made a call to my client that you comply with all ESG requirements, otherwise we will not take your material and will not purchase your material. Now you can imagine that there are so many manufacturers who are exporting the product to the other country. Because it covers the chain distribution, it covers suppliers also, it covers everybody, transporter also. See, not necessary that one company should go for ESG reporting. What is the chain distribution with that company, including transporters, suppliers, customers, from whom they are buying the material, 100% buying the raw material from one company. And that entity, even if it's a partnership firm, not necessarily it's a registered entity. And that partnership firm has to also comply with that particular concern, that is ESG. Because it's covered in the entire chain distribution is covered for ESG. So if you look at the scope of ESG reporting, is very, very, very wide. I have gone to the IFRS in their applicability listed companies and unlisted company net worth of 250 crores, and it is not applicable to the private account. But therefore, this is concerned, it is applicable to everybody. It is a matter of time. That makes it easy for the business to comply with regulation, governance, child labor, anti-corruption policy, gender discrimination. This will be all covered into the regulations. Attractive to the employees and investors. The employees of the company should be treated properly by the management of the company. The health checkup should be taken regularly, the training should be done regularly, the standard of life should increase, all the proper benefits should be given to them. See, you have seen so many times that when they are going for a job, you will always see the which company is paying what. Which company is taking a greater care of employees. During the course, see, we have seen, let us say, for example, TCS. See, all the answers will be taken later on. Let me please complete the total session. All questions will be taken later on. So it is attractive to the employees, people to go to the TCS. Why? Even during the COVID period, they have taken proper care of their employees. Many companies we have seen, they have fired the employees. They look at the job should lady. Then it is also attractive to the investors. It is very important. Now the investors, now this become mandatory now. Even if you go for a loan to the bank, the bank will see first of all whether you are complying with the ESG reporting or not, and then they will finance for you. Foreign investors, foreign FII, when they want to invest in India in any industries, they will always see whether they are complying with this or not. So if you are a ESG compliant company, the investor will be attracted to you. They will be interested to fund your company. It improves employee retention. When customers are attracted to the companies, when the good products are available, waste reduction because of this, a reduction in the energy usage and pollution. This is also benefit and advantage of sustainable reporting. Get into the better relations with your suppliers. There is also a benefit and access to the capital market and lower cost of funding. See, these are all positive impact of sustainable reporting, benefits of the sustainable reporting. See, sometimes it is why the companies should spend the money for this ESG, why they should go for the energy, why they should go for the solar, why they go for the new machinery, pollution, etc. So these are all the benefits which are getting out of the impact of the sustainable reporting. See, today just I got the magazine from Explain. On that cover, they are very clearly written, sustainability, this paper can be recycled. They are written on the cover itself. So people have started moving on the sustainability now. Now, what are the benefits which companies receive because of sustainability maintaining? GE has
Kishor bhai.
decreased GE by 32%.
किशोर भाई एक छोटे से रिक्वेस्ट है. हेलो हेलो किशोर
Sir.
हेलो किशोर सर.
Yes,
सर आपकी वॉइस जो है ना बहुत ज्यादा क्रैक हो रही है.
क्रैक हो रही है.
हाँ सर.
आपकी भी क्रैक हो रही है. मैं सुन रहा हूँ. There's a problem with the speaker somewhere.
Because we are not been able to hear you properly. और बहुत से लोगों ने चैट पर भी लिखा हुआ है. The voice is not clear.
One minute, because I am also facing the same problem. 1 minute. आवाज क्रैक है. Hello.
Yes sir.
Hello.
Yes sir.
Now these are problem.
Voice is not clear sir.
Internet problem is there. Now
The issue it's not proper sir.
let me try once again. Now
No sir.
This is internet problem. Hello. Hello.
I think so there is an issue with your mic.
It is coming properly. Your audio is proper. Your voice is. There is some problem with your mic.
स्पीकर में तो आवाज आ रही है. आपको माइक में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes sir. Sir voice is not we are not been able to hear you sir.
I think the laptop has got heated up. So I will change the laptop now. It will take 10-15 minutes, sir.
Perfect.
Sir before that you can make me a host and then you can rejoin it.
Pardon?
You can make me host.
You want him to call you?
Yes for me. This is the convener. You can make me the host.
फाइल એને મેલ કરીને એને કહો ને કે તું શેર કર. વાત પછી હાલો કરો. આ ફાઇલ છે ને એને મેલ કરી દો. અને એ વખત તું ત્યાં ઉપર ચાર્જ કરી મોબાઈલમાં કરું છું. આ ચપ્પલ લેપટોપમાં પ્રોબ્લેમ છે. તમે મોબાઈલમાં તો ઝૂમ કરી શકો છો ને. Hello.
Hello.
Vishal. Give me a mobile number.
Hello.
one sec, sir. He's calling to some Vishal. લેપટોપ પ્રોબ્લેમ આવે છે અવાજ બ્રેક થાય છે ત્યાંનો કોઈનો મને મોબાઈલ નંબર આપે ને તો હું મારી ફાઇલ શેર કરી દઉં અને હું પછી આવી પડી જાઉં આને પણ ફોન કરું દેખાશે ને yeah. 1 minute. 98213. Yes, 98213 पर जाकर 56515. 56515. Yes. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
વિજયભાઈ હું તમને ફાઇલ મેલ કરું તો પછી હેલો વિજયભાઈ I'm Kishor Parikh here. So shall I mail the file to you? And then I will take it on this mobile line. And then I will take it on the mobile. That is the second alternate available. Because of the white cracks because of the problem in this system. What is the mobile mail ID number? 1 minute.
Kishor sir is joining once again with the new laptop. So it will take 5-10 minutes. I request everyone to please stay on in the meeting. He will just join in 5-10 minutes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello. Now the voice was clear.
Now? Hello.
Yes, sir. Now voice is clear.
Now clear it is?
Yes, sir.
मुझे लगा रही थी share clear.
I will just share you in just a second.
Okay, one second.
So I made you the co-host. You can share it.
आप बंद करो. Shut down कर दूं? Okay. Are you able to see that?
Yes, sir.
Cancel कर. Come here. Agree. Yes, now are you able to look at?
Yes, sir.
Yes. We were here, correct? Hello? I'm audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible now.
So shall we start now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Or look at the benefits. Sumil. See, GE has reduced GHG emissions by 32% and water by 45%, resulting in a $300 million in saving and revenue from sustainable products. Has generated $200 billion in sales since 2005. See, these are what are the benefits of sustainable reporting. Dow company has invested nearly $2 billion and saved $9.8 billion from reduced energy and wastewater consumption. Dew Point is the company has cut cost by $2 billion in the last 10 years by investing in energy efficiency equipment while reducing GHG emissions by 75%. Now, this is very important. What is global scenario? See, the United Nations Global Compact, that is called as UNGC, was formed in 26 July 2000, and they encourage the adopt sustainable and social responsible policy. And there were 170 countries which were the members of this, and 10 principles they have taken out. 10 principles. And these all the principles are to be covered into the Millennium Development Goal. One, human rights. Business should support and respect the protection of international human rights. Make sure that all are not complicit in human rights abuses. Labor. Business should uphold the freedom of association and effective recognition. And collective bargaining, contract, that is contract labor. Elimination of all forms of forced and compulsory labor. Effective abolition of child labor. Like that, there is an environment. Business should support precautionary approach to the environmental challenges. Encourage the development and diffusion of environmentally friendly technologies. And last, anti-corruption. Business should work against corruption in all the forms, including extortion and bribery. The above principles shall be covered in Millennium Development Goal and SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. Now, these are given Millennium Development Goals. There are 8 goals are there. Where 189 nations were the members of this, and it was finalized in the committee of 2000. And this is to be achieved by 2015 by all the members who were, including India also. Hunger, education, gender, children, mother, disease, environment, and partnership. So 8 goals were there. And these goals are to be complied by all the countries. That is 189 United Nations members have to comply, and it is to be complied by end of 2015. Later on, they have come out with a new agenda, and it is to be complied by 2030. And there are 193 members in this committee, including India is also the member. United Nations and the General Assembly in September 2015 for 17 Sustainable Development Goals. See, previously it was 8, now it has come to 17. But these have to be complied by 2030. But very important point, it is very that all the nationally owned and carrying lead wherein each country is given freedom. See, all these 17 goals which are there, that is to be covered by all the countries in their reporting. That is number one. At the same time, each country is given the freedom that you prepare the report format in your as you like it. So we have also prepared a separate report format. Other countries have also reported separate report format. But your report format should cover all 17 goals. That is very important. If the 17 goals are given and if it is not covered in your report, that is not acceptability, sustainable reporting. So that is very important. See how it has happened in case of IFRS. IFRS is a standard. We have our own index. So we have made some changes in the index, but the principal framework is taken over from them only. In SDG, you can have your own framework, but it should cover all goals which are given, that is 17 goals. There are 169 targets and 232 indicators are there in it. Now, previously we have seen that there was 8 millennium goals that were covered 3. Now the 5 aspect is covered: people, planet, prosperity, peace and partnership. That everything is covered in these 17 goals. Now 17 sustainable development goals. These are 1 to 17. I will show you the next slide in detail. Goal number 1, end poverty and all is found everywhere. Goal number 2, end of hunger. Achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Goal number 3, ensure healthy lives and promote well-being. Goal number 4, ensure equitable equity education. Goal number 5, gender equality. Goal number 6, sanitation. Goal number 7, affordable house and energy. Goal number 8, sustained inclusion and sustainable economic growth. Build resilient infrastructure. Goal number 9. Goal number 10, reduce inequality within and among the countries. See, that is very important. Within and among the countries. Even in our country also, there is a lot of inequality from state to state. If you look at India, some states are very much prosperous, like Punjab, Gujarat, etc. And some states are not prospered. On Himachal Pradesh, and if you go, it is economically still backward. So within a state, within a country, as well as among the country, third world country, America and Europe, they are developed highly. India is still developing country. So that inequality should be now reduced in under goal number 10. Make cities of a human settlement inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Today, you know how the Bombay is totally Jopalpatti and everywhere is there. So that is also to be settled. The clean, whatever the illegal, that is to be taken care of it. Ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. 14, conserve sustainable use of oceans, seas, and marine resources. 15, protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem. Manage forest, combat deforestation, etc. 16, promote peaceful and inclusive societies. And 17, strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership. See, these are 17 goals, and all the goals are to be complied in the framework which is used by the country. Now, this is very much important to be understood. At global level, how many countries are preparing ESG reporting? In how many countries it is mandatory? Now, if you look at a big country like USA, in United States, there are currently no mandatory ESG disclosure at a federal level. Although the SEC, Security Exchange of Commission, requires all public companies to disclose information that may be material to investors, including information on ESG related. See, mandatory it is not reporting, but they have to disclose which are the item material related to environment and social governance. Till the assurance has not become the mandatory, there is no specific format given by USA, by SEC. But whatever the international standard that will come later on, that is to be maintained into that. UK, the United Kingdom has become the first European Union territory country to enact mandatory ESG disclosure laws. As far as UK is concerned, they have formed all ESG laws mandatory. It is applied to all UK registered companies and LLP with over 500 employees with an annual turnover of more than 500 million, and also all UK public interest entities. So they have formed a guideline to whom it will be applicable. So in UK, it has become mandatory, where there are more than 500 employees, where turnover is exceeding more than 500 million pounds. For them, it is applicable, and produce non-financial information under the existing reporting laws. However, the impact will not only be in UK, 13 largest companies, but also thousands of businesses in their supply chains. See, they're very clearly mentioned in supply chains. Supply chains means their customers, persons who are manufacturing on their behalf, where there is outsources of goods, transporter, they are all covered under the supply chains. So they will be also covered for the ESG reporting. So if you look at in a broader sense, the very wide range of this reporting. Canada, under Canadian security legislation, there are currently no separate specific requirement mandating environmental and social related disclosure. Rather, issues must disclose its meaningful way material information only. Now, what is material information? That depends on the entity to entity, management to management. But the guideline is given in the international standards, sustainability standards, that what is called as a material. Singapore, all listed business in Singapore must provide climate reporting in comply or explain way from 1st January 2022. This will be applicable in Singapore from 2022. According to Singapore Exchange, climate reporting will be made mandatory for listed business in financial, energy, agriculture, food and forest products sectors from 2023. See, they have gone sector-wise. First of all, in 2023, they have covered energy, agriculture, financial, food, forest, etc. Then 2024, they have considered material and buildings and transportation sector. So they are implementing ESG reporting sector-wise, not to all at a time, but sector-wise they are implementing. Part will be taken in 23, 24, then they will be taken in 25, like that way. China, on December 18, 2021, China's Ministry of Ecology and Environmental issued the measures for the administration of legal disclosure of enterprise environmental information. They call it as a measures. The measures represent China's latest push to standardize and mandate ESG reporting for companies as it works to reach climate emission and other environmental targets. Applicable to a wide range of market entities, including both those that engage in production and high environmental impact, and those who finance such projects. The new measures require companies to submit annual report, detailed environmental information, emission, carbon pollution, etc. And the measures went into effect on February 8, 2022. In China, it's effective from February 2022. Now, this is very important to be understood. Global ESG framework. In the previous slides, we have gone through. We have seen environment, what is sustainability, what are the benefits of sustainability. If you do not follow, then what will be the ESG losses to you, etc. Then we have gone through the which countries are adopting and which countries are not adopting. Now, if somebody wants to adopt, then there should be some framework, there should be some standards. And according to those standards, you will follow it and prepare your report. Because it's a non-financial reporting. So there is a global ESG framework. Now, in global ESG framework, number one, Value Reporting Foundation, we call it as a VRF. Second, Climate Disclosure Standard Board, they have their own standards. Third, Global Reporting Initiative, we call it as a GRI, Global Sustainability Standard Board, GSSB. The next, IFRS Sustainability Disclosure Standard, International Sustainability Standard Board. See, IFRS Foundation, that will go to one IFRS accounting disclosures, and now they will come up with sustainability standard disclosures. So IFRS Foundation will have two accounting also, that is a financial also and non-financial also. Now, out of this, which standards should be followed by which country, which company, how it is to be done? That is very important. So now they are coming to close to each other now. Now, Value Reporting Foundation. Now, what is their concern? What they have to look after? That is integrated reporting. That integrated reporting will show that financial as well as non-financial integrated, that non-financial reports should be taken into the one report only. Now, there are certain standards that is called as a SASB, Sustainable Accounting Standard Board. They have issued the standards. Now, principle of those standards should be covered in integrated reporting framework, which is issued by VRF, Value Reporting Foundation. So integrated reporting includes principle and framework also, and whatever the sustainability standard, SASB standards, that is to be covered into this integrated reporting, and integrated reporting will cover two, financial and non-financial. Second, Climate Disclosure Standard Board. The CDSB set up with the World Economic Forum in the absence of climate-related disclosure standard in 2007. And they have also disclosed the framework and released in 2010. That is Climate Disclosure Standard Board. They have got their own standards that is covered in CDSB. And third, Global Reporting Initiative Standard, that is GRI. Global Sustainability Standard Board has been established as an independent operating board under the Auspices and Global Reporting Initiative, and is the sole responsibility for setting globally accepted standard. So GRI is called Global Reporting Initiative Standards. Now the question comes whether I should follow GRI, if I follow SASB, or I follow CDSB. Now at global level, all GRI is followed by everybody. Most of the countries following GRI. Now GRI stands on the popular framework used by corporate globally and in India also, for reporting their sustainability performance in India also. See, there are three universal standards, that is GRI 101 Foundation, GRI 102 General Disclosures, and GRI 103 Management Approach. And there are 34 topics specific standards. For each topic, there are what disclosure, there are 34. And these standards are applicable from 2016. So company who wants to go for ESG reporting, then they have to follow these standards. It is applicable in India also, as well as the global company can also apply these GRI standards. That is applicable from 2016. Now, with the change in the time, these standards are revised. And these revised standards are applicable from 1st January 23. 1st January 23, these revised standards will be applicable. See, these standards are applicable. Wherever there is a mandatory, they will follow this, they can follow this standard. But where there are voluntary, then they cannot follow the standard, they can follow other standard also, this standard also. Now, in case of a revised standard, there are 3 universal standards. There are 32 standards which are given, that is topic wise, and the 2 standards which are a specific standard, that is sector wise. Prior to this, there were no sector wise standard, now it is sector wise. So there are some changes which are made into this standard also. 16, and now it will come to 23 new standards. Now, what other standards are there? Now you can observe very clearly the GRI 1 Foundation 2021 is a new standard. Old standard was already there, now it is revised. General disclosure standard is revised. Material topic standard is revised. Then sector wise, oil and gas 11 and 12. There is oil and gas sector 2021 and coal sector just recently it has come in 2022. So there are only 2 standards which has come out for the purpose of sector wise. See, this all standards gives a disclosure, how it is to be disclosed. Oil and gas sectors, what they have to consider for disclosure. And then thereafter, there are topic-wise standard, topic-wise. In that, I have written the year also. GRI 1, Economic Performance 2016, that is old one. Market presence. Then indirect economic impacts, procurement practices, anti-corruption policy, anti-competitive behavior. Then tax 2019. Now these are all 16. Now this standard has come in 2019, tax. Material, energy, water and effluents 2018 it has come. Biodiversity 2016. Emission 2016 it was already there. Waste 2020, the new standard which has come. And supplier environmental assessment 2016. Then another standard 401 employees, then 402, that is 16 of 16, labor, 403 occupational health, 404 training and education, 405 diversity and opportunity, 406 non-discrimination, 407, then 408 child labor, 409 compulsory. So you can see there is all these are 2016. It was already there. Then security practice, right of indigenous people, local community, supplier, public policy, customer health, marketing and labeling, and customers privacy. Now see, 16 is written, but there are all the standards are changed to some extent internally also. Say for example, training and education standard was already there. It was in 2012, it has come. Applicable was 2016, then the new standard has come now. But at the same time, they have also made the minor changes in the standard which was already there in 2016. So all the companies who wants to follow, then they can follow this standard at the global level. If you look at the balance sheet of the Infosys, TCS, etc., they are given this reporting. As a non-financial reporting, separate report is also given. And at the end, they have compared and given that which standard, international standard they have followed. And they have given with the reference of page number. On which page number, which standard reference is given, disclosure is given. If you look at the balance sheet financial statement of and this Infosys has issued a separate report for sustainable BRSR report. So all the standards are covered and they are linked with it. BRSR report, they are linked with GRI standard at the global level. IFRS announces International Sustainability Standard Board. Now, what has happened? IFRS Foundation, they have an International Financial Accounting Standard Board. They are issuing IFRS standard. We call it as an index in India, just for the sake of understanding. Now, they have also come out with the sustainable standard now. So on 3rd November, the IFRS Foundation announced the creation of new standard setting board, that is International Sustainability Standard Board, ISSB. On 3rd November 21, a commitment of the leading investor-focused sustainability disclosure organization, that is International Sustainability Standard Board, IFRS Foundation will complete the consolidation of Climate Disclosure Standard Board and VRF and SASB. See, now there are standard of CDSB, they have also standard. SSSB has also got the standard, and those standards are covered in VRF for the purpose of integrating. Now, VRF has joined the hand with this new that is IFRS Sustainability Standard Board. Now they are joined with each other now by June 2022, and now they will jointly work and find out the standards now. So now there won't be a separate standard, that is CDSB, SASB, etc. Now in future, the other standards will come, that is issued by International Sustainability Standard Board. They have already issued the exposure draft. ISB has issued exposure draft for IFRS Sustainability Disclosure Standard on March 22 for the comments to be received by 29 July 2022. They have issued the standards for the purpose of the comment of the public. When our institute can also give the comment on the standard, I and you can also give the comment of the standard. Whatever comment you want to give. So all the comments will be issued by them on 29 July 2022, and then they will take into the consideration all the comments. And the standard will be finalized for implementation. Now, which standard they have issued? IFRS S1. See, now please slightly observe it. IFRS 1, IFRS 2, IFRS 3. IFRS 1, first time accounting adoption. IFRS 3, IFRS 4, like that way, there are different IFRS. Then IAS 1. Like that, IFRS 110, IFRS 10, IFRS 11, 12, all are there. Now here, what has come? IFRS, they have kept as it is. IFRS, Internal Financial Reporting Standard. S1 means Sustainability Reporting Standard number 1. But if I say IFRS 1, then only one, then total meaning changes. That is going for accounting. IFRS 1, IFRS 2, IFRS 3, like that. But when I say IFRS S1, that means it is for the sustainability reporting. So that difference to be kept into the mind. They are given illustrative guidance, IFRS 1, general disclosure, basis of conclusion, IFRS 1, then S2, climate related disclosure, then illustrative guidance and basis for conclusion, IFRS S2, and Appendix B, industry-based disclosure requirement. As on today, only GRI is applicable. Many companies are following GRI. This standard has not come. Now the question will come when International Sustainability Standard Board has also issued the standard, like IFRS they were issued. GRI is also their standard they have issued. Now, if I want to follow, then which standard I should follow? Whether I should follow this one or I should follow that one. Because now there are two standards for sustainability reporting which is coming out. GRI is already there. Many international companies are following. Even in India also GRI we are following. At the same time, the new standards which will be published by International Sustainability Standard Board, ISSB. Now, expose the draft has come, now it will come, the final standard will be come out. Then which standard should be followed? Either this or that. Then what has happened? They have come into the joint agreement that will come to later on. Now, what are the Appendix B, the consumer goods sector? These are all draft are already published, which include so many subsector, appliances, building product, e-commerce, wholesale, personal, etc. These are all the disclosure to be taken, this industry-wise. Financial sectors, asset management company, commercial bank, insurance, investment, brokerage, mortgage finance. Infrastructure sector, electric, etc., real estate, service management, etc. Then, like that way, extractive and mineral processing sectors are also there. Food and beverage sectors, so many industries are there. Health and care sectors, so many subsectors are there. For each sector, there will be a separate disclosure. And they have issued this all the draft for the purpose of approval for the comment. Then technology sector also they have covered, service sector, transportation sector, air freight, airlines, auto parts, automobiles, etc. Renewable energy, resources transformation. Now what has happened? ISSB has issued, GR has issued. Now both the institution, GRI reporting standards and ISSB coming together. And they will join the hands with each other. They have entered into an agreement. And then there will be only one standard. IFRS Foundation and Global Reporting Initiative have announced on 24th March 2022 a collaboration agreement under which the respective standard setting boards, the International Sustainability Standard Board and Global Sustainability Standard Board will seek to coordinate their work program and standard setting activities. After that, on 24th March 2020, both then will come together, both the board will come together and both the board will form the standards with each other and that will be later on finalized. So this is the position of the global of the framework, the position. GRI and Sustainability Standard Board, which are going to issue the standards. Then integrated reporting framework that is called by VRF. Now this is very important to us. We are interested in what is development in India. We have seen at the global level that many countries have become mandatory. In many countries, it is not mandatory. In certain countries, they have gone on the basis of sector-wise, etc. Now, as far as India is concerned, what is the scenario? India, PM Shri Narendra Modi pledges net zero emission by 2070. That he has announced into the COP26. By 2030, India will increase its non-fossil capacity to 500 gigawatts. That I have heard into the Berlin PS Stadium in Berlin in the last time. India will fulfill 50% of its energy requirement with renewable energy by 2030. India will reduce 1 billion ton of total projected carbon emission between 21 and 30. 2030, India will reduce its economy's carbon intensity to less than 45%. ESG focused mutual funds have grown 4.2 multi 2 years. That is assets under management 12,320 crores. Top 10 funds. So finance is also going on into the ESG fund now. Which company has already commitment of Indian companies? Tata Power announced stop by new coal-field power plant target of 70%. Reliance 2020, Reliance Industry announced its ambition to become net carbon zero by 2035. In 2021, Reliance made a significant announcement of starting a new green energy business on 44th annual general meeting. The new entity plans to invest over $1,000 billion over the next 3 years, that is 75,000 crores. Then Mahindra company is also there. ITC, the company FMCG and tobacco business is heavily dependent on raw material from agriculture sector. See, in ESG, the tobacco companies will be maximum effective because of the governance, because of the health ground, and that will impact on their profitability. Hence, the huge focus of ITC is on the adopting sustainable agriculture practice and climate smart farming practice, water saving irrigation, etc. Wipro or the 2021 IT services major Wipro announces its commitment to achieving net zero in GHG by 2014. HDFC by 2031-32. Ambuja Cement, they are also reducing CO2, target of 13.5 million tons of waste to be reused. L&T aims water neutrality by 2035, nature conservation and promoting biodiversity. Then, now, how it has taken place in India? Events lead to development of sustainable reporting, that is BRSR, Business Responsibility and Sustainable Reporting in India. July 2011, National Voluntary Guidance on SER. 2012, SEBI makes mandatory for 100 companies, listed companies. 2015-17 goals has come out to be complied and to be taken into the reporting. 15-16 mandatory for top 500 listed entities now. 19, the standards are further BRSR report is revised. And now it is mandatory to 1,000 listed entities from 1st April 2022. They have to go for BRSR reporting from 1st April 22. It is applicable to 1,000 companies. Based on their capitalization, based there on capitalization. So first 1,000 companies covered under capitalization, they will take capitalization on 31st March 22. From ascending order, which are coming 1,000 companies, they have to go mandatory for BRSR reporting. And ICI is also developing the scoring mechanism for BRSR reporting. Now, this is the scenario in India. So as far as India is concerned, 1,000 companies will be covered under this reporting. Now imagine. Now these 1,000 companies which are covered, they have a chain distribution also. They are outsourcing. Now let us say for pharma company. One pharma company is outsourcing their one product to another factory. It's a small partnership firm or a small private limited company. Now total product is outsourced that they are buying and selling it. So that private limited company, that partnership firm has to also go for an ESG reporting. So I think now you must be able to understand that it is not a small scope for us. It is a very wide scope as far as we are concerned. We can take the care of so many things in this type of reporting. How to fill up the report, that is all given into the Annexure 1 and Annexure 2. Now BRSR reporting, there are 3 sections, sections A, B, and C. General disclosure, which includes size, location, product, number, employees, CSR. Section B, management and process disclosure. Section C, principle-wise performance disclosure. And this principle-wise performance disclosure includes all 17 goals. All 17 goals are covered into this principle-wise performance disclosure. See, there are 9 principles. First, business should conduct and govern themselves with integrity. Second, business should provide good services in manner that is sustainable. Principle number 3, business to respect and promote the well-being of all employees. Business to respect the interests of the respond to the stakeholders. So now please try to understand stakeholders and shareholders. Stakeholder includes shareholder, but shareholder does not include stakeholders in ESG reporting. Who is called as the stakeholders? Everybody who are affected, they are called as the stakeholders. Creditors are there, customers are there, right? Employees are there. Even the neighbor, where the factory is there, the neighbor is also a stakeholder. The public is affected. So the public which is affected, that is also called, they are also called as a stakeholder. People, that is called as a people. Government, they are also stakeholders. So stakeholder means all the parties who are affected by it. They are called as the stakeholders. So shareholder includes stakeholders, but stakeholder does the shareholder includes that shareholder doesn't include stakeholders, but stakeholder includes shareholders. Business to respect and promote human rights. Business to respect and make effort to protect environment. Sir, shall I take rest for 5 or 10 minutes?
Okay, sir.
Huh?
We can take a break of 5 minutes just to.
Yeah.
Shall we start, sir?
Yes. Yes, sir. Business should promote inclusive growth, and principle 9, business should engage with the provided value of the consumer. See, these are the 9 principles which are covered under SDG 7. Now, this is called as Annexure 1, which is issued by SEBI. SEBI has given this format, and it is called as an Annexure 1, BRSR report Annexure 1. Then Annexure 2 is second report. Annexure 2 is one more, that is guidance. So all the companies has to follow BRSR Annexure 1 and Annexure 2. Annexure 2 is giving the guidance that how Annexure 1 to be taken care of. In addition, I have not considered the Annexure B, it is because it was a guidance only. So Annexure 1 I have given to you, which includes 9 principles. Now BRSR light report, to whom it will be applicable? Light report. So far, CB has not announced, no guidance has come so far, but it will be applicable in future to those companies which are not covered under the listed. It will be applicable to unlisted companies. Secondly, the base will be taken on the base of turnover or capital, whatever it is. So far, it is not announced. So the light version is that implementation of reporting required should be one in a phased manner. The smaller companies get ample time to adopt and learn from the larger ones. The committee has also recommended that smaller unlisted companies below the threshold may, to begin with, adopt the light version of the format on a voluntary basis. So far, it has not come. The light version of the report allows smaller unlisted companies below a certain threshold that will come out. Currently it is not defined. It will be defined later on, and according to that, it will be reported. To adopt a light version of the BRSR format on a voluntary basis to make easier for such companies to report on sustainability related matters. So one is there, main report BRSR, and second is light report. Light report will be applicable in future when it will come all the guidelines that what should be the threshold of turnover or on the capital basis, that they will come out with the guideline. And accordingly, it will be applicable voluntarily. Comparisons. BRSR standard, that is Indian standard. GRI, Global Reporting Initiative. And IR framework, Integrated Reporting Framework, VRF. Developed by government, non-government organization, specified made for use of Indian companies, not specified to any country. GRI can be adopted by anybody, any country can adopt it. While BRSR can be adopted only by Indian company. Current sector organic provision for future sector program underway. 9 principles are covered. Triple bottom line 9, economic, environment, social. Principle-wise indicators, topic-wise indicators, standalone disclosure, standalone report, economic disclosure, mandatory and voluntary. So these are the difference of the BRSR reporting and GRI reporting. It is just for the sake of knowledge. And this is very important. Difference between the sustainable reporting and financial reporting. See, sustainable financial reporting is for the reported year. While sustainable reporting will include the future orientation, that what you are going to do in the future. If you are preparing the report of 31st March 23, it will be financial report will be there. In addition to that, when you report sustainable reporting, then what you are going to do in future, that will be also disclosed into that. Focused organization directly control wider sustainable impacts. Economic view, material, intangible. See, it creates the image of the brand, image of the company, goodwill of the company, brand of the company, which can be valued, but it is an intangible assets. Data, financial and non-financial. Financial significance, only information that is significant to readers. Shareholders and investors and users are the stakeholders. Now, this is need for independent assurance. This should be applicable to chartered accountants and assurance. Momentum, environmental, social, and governance reporting requirement for companies, investors, policymakers, and a broad range of stakeholders seek higher quality, increasingly standard reporting of the company's performance on a non-financial measures. And with this demand for assurance engagement, they enhance the degree of confidence intend to use ESG reporting growing. For audit and assurance, International Auditing and Assurance Standard Board has issued a standard that is called International Standard on Assurance Engagement, ISAE 3000. So this standard to be followed, audit and assurance standard. In ISAE 3000, there are so many details which are to be given. How it helps, what is the advantage of getting done? It gives quality, accuracy, balance, clarity, completeness, comparable, reliability, materiality, etc. Improve trust, creditability, and decision, better input for management, opportunity to align with best practice, and pressure to perform. Improve performance, customers, then investors and analysts, ESG sustainability indicates, Dow Jones Sustainability Index, proposed BRSI Index, etc. See, these are the how it helps. Now, this is area which is covered under the assurance. Now, if you look at this area, there are certain areas which is beyond the framework of the chartered accountants. See, when I have to give a report on sustainability as a chartered accountant, which includes all 17 goals, which includes energy, water consumption, etc. As a chartered accountant, how you will certify that figures, how numbers? That this many water they have consumed, this many waters gone for a recycling, this many water they have reused, etc. Emissions, how much CO2 is generated, what actions they have taken to abolish it, what actions they have taken to reduce it, etc. How much waste they have generated, how much is recycled, how much is disposed of, etc. Training and other factors we can take care because the record is available with department, the company. Now, in this case, we can take the experts' advice, experts' certificate, experts' opinion also, or you can make a team of it and get the work done and get it assurance. So these are the areas where it's not possible for a chartered accountant to certify for GHG and other emissions because it's a technical subject. As on today also, whenever we got in a financial problem, we take the certificate of the outsiders. We rely on the certificates. To some extent, that will also come into the assurance also. Because so far the assurance has not become mandatory. No guidance has come so far how to go for it. How to go for CSR impact we know. That is, and I think the CSR audit will also come now. Corporate sustainability reporting. Training and everything you can get it from HRD department. Employees and separation you can get it from HRD department. Governance we can do. All the legal they are complied or not. Governance we can do. But there are environmental subjects. There is a some from chartered accountants because they are technical subjects. So you can take the help of others and get it done and completely give the assurance. ISE 3000 overview, assurance engagement, audit, review historical financial information, effective on assurance engagement from 2015. The practitioner who is performing the engagement is a member of the firm subject to ISQ, that is quality control, internal standard on quality control. There is subject matter of specific IAC, subject matter of particular engagement, particular shall apply with this requirement. So there are so many things given to this. Our objective is what? To obtain reasonable assurance or a limited assurance as appropriate. Either you give the limited assurance or you give the reasonable assurance. And whether the subject matter information is free from material mistake. That is the main object of ISAE 3000. Social stock exchange. This is a new concept. SSE. Union Budget 2019-20 or Finance Minister has proposed to initiate steps to create an electronic fundraising platform, a social stock exchange under the regulatory ambit of SEBI for listing social enterprises and voluntary organizations working for social welfare so that they can raise capital as equity, debt, or as unit like a mutual fund. So separate social stock exchange will be there now, where all NGO and every all will be registered into social stock exchange. So the company who are doing CSR, they can directly contact to the social stock exchange and then they can give the donation and the work will be performed by the NGO, which are listed in the social stock exchange. SEBI in September 2019 constructed a working group under the chairman of Sri Ishaq Hussain to Director of Tata Sons, make recommendations, possible structure and mechanism with the security market. Social stock exchange shall be separate segment under the existing stock exchange. NSE, BSE, like that way it will be a social stock exchange, it's a separate. Eligibility. Now there are 15 activities which are given. If they are performing and covered under this, then they'll be eligible to get it registered under social stock exchange. Eligible activities are the same activities which are covered in 17 goals. If they are covered in this 17 goals activity, then they can go for an eligibility of this SSE and get it registration. Electing hunger, poverty, promoting education, promoting gender equality, ensuring environment sustainability, protection of national heritage, training to promote rural and sports and Olympic sports, supporting incubators of social enterprise, supporting other platforms, promoting livelihood in the rural and urban poor, slum area development, disaster management, promotion of financial inclusion, facilitating access, bridging the digital divide, and data protection. NPO may be required to be registered prior to raising the funds and has put a set qualifying criteria. Now, these are the documents or these are the instruments they can issue. Zero coupon, then Section 8 companies by issue of equity, social venture fund, development impact bond, donation through mutual funds, etc. Disclosure requirement that NPO, non-profit organization and for-profit enterprise organization take as a social enterprise. It covers profit for profit also. There may be a separate set of annual disclosure on governance and financial. See, that will come later on. But they are just broad line they have given that this will be covered so many things. Now, social audit is very important to us because this audit is our subject. Now, what they have stated for social audit of a social impact, that is, social audit shall be mandatory for entities on SSE. All BSC and NSE companies are mandatory like this way, it will be also mandatory. To begin with, only reputed firms or institutions having relevant expertise may be allowed to carry out social audits. Now, no guideline is given so far. No guideline is given so far. Such institutions shall enjoy social auditors who have qualified certificate course conducted by National Institute of Security Market. So separate certificate course will come out. Strengthen tax incentives of donors, investor a capacity building fund investment. At present, these are the social stock exchange: Brazil Bolsa, Canada Social Welfare, Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, Portugal Bolsa, Singapore Impact, United Kingdom Social Stock Exchange.
हेलो हाँ सर्वर पे डाला है गोविंद को बोल दो गोविंद को बोलो
Speaker is rejoining, please.
Friends, please wait. There is some technical error. We will join shortly.
509244.
Friends, we will wait for 2 minutes. If the speaker is not able to connect due to some technical error, we will propose a vote of thanks. All are requested to please wait for 2 minutes. The speaker has just informed us that he will join in 2 minutes.
સર કઈ આપણે
फाइल हमारी फाइल क्या आती चालू करो बंद करो एक्सेप्ट करो क्लिक करो ये फाइल चाहिए आईडी नहीं आમાં એક મિનિટ ત્યાં ખોલો ને ઈ જ અહીંયા થાય છે ખાલી ઓપન નહીં કરતો એ ફાઇલ નું મને પાથ બતાવજો ખાલી કઈ ફાઇલ છે
Kishor bhai,
એક સેકન્ડ થઈ ગયું
hey sir, there is one request. I think only 1 or 2 slides were remaining. So if you can,
લાસ્ટ સ્લાઇડ છે
yeah, so last slide if you can explain and sum up this, nothing like it, sir.
નહીં એમાં કાંઈ છે જ નહીં એમાં ખાલી
Okay.
सबका साथ सबका विकास નરેન્દ્ર
Okay.
મોદીનો લોગો છે
Acha.
हाँ,
Sir, so
सबका
please,
साथ सब
please your
Let's-
closing
Huh?
remarks, your closing remarks for 5 minutes. I think members will appreciate that.
લાસ્ટમાં ઓનલી નરેન્દ્ર મોદીનો એક લોગો આપ્યો છે
Okay.
सबका साथ सबका विकास स्वच्छ
Sir,
भारत
we are live, sir, we are live.
या
So let's close this. Kishor bhai, if you can sum up the
Sorry,
final
sorry for the internet
But-
problem and other problems. Sorry for inconvenience.
No issue. So if you can sum up the final your things, so we can start the closing.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. So thank you very much, Kishor bhai, for your very informative session on the ESG reporting. So we are very much grateful and thankful to you for joining with us on the virtual platform for this new topic, which is going to be a routine activity or audit or the professional activity in our area. So I request my colleague Nilesh Bhai Vasa to formally give a well-deserved vote of thanks to you. Please, Nilesh Bhai.
Thank you, Hiren bhai, for giving me this opportunity. Members, today we are very sorry for the technical errors, but at this age, the Kishor bhai has really give a better judgment to this topic on sustainability reporting. So we are very much thankful to our learned speaker Kishor bhai Parikh. On behalf of Borivali Central CP Study Circle, we propose a very well deserved vote of thanks to the learned speaker with a loud round of applause. Thank you, Kishor bhai. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, members.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Sorry
sir, for joining.
inconvenience. Sorry for inconvenience because of this some technical and Wi-Fi problems which are taking.
No issue, sir.
No issue, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, members.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
चलो बात करते हैं रवि बात